Hey everybody, chatting nobody else's auto. 7 o'clock Sunday evening. Time for some live chat. As always, going on two formats tonight: Facebook and YouTube. Looks like Facebook is connecting as well. Lots of guys on already on YouTube, ready to go tonight. Charlie was here about 10 minutes ago. Looks like ready to go. Leo and Travis are here. Jim's on with us. Charles is here. Seen Charles had his little Red Express out yesterday. Mark's back. Glad Mark made it tonight. Kevin L's here. A lot of you guys on and ready to rock and roll tonight. Always glad to see you back. And let's see. Looks like we are connected on Facebook as well. So I always hit live at the same time on both formats. It's just seeing how well the computers cooperate and work together to click on and get going. So Charlie missed last Sunday, but I'm glad you made it this week. And pretty good crowd on already. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Dad's here with us. Start walking through tonight's episode. Got a full episode tonight. Got some open chat to talk about. Got a promo model ready. Got one of the rarest badges in our collection coming up for the pre-war badge. And for the post-war badge, the biggest physically in size, biggest emblem we've ever had. So that's going to be fun. I hope you guys are going to be able to see it. I'm going to have to kind of cattywampus it around so you guys can see. I don't even think we get the whole thing in the shot. That's how big it is. Leo says the check's in the mail. Awesome. Thanks, Leo. Joe's here with us. So we'll catch that. We've got a super cool car for the story time segment. Auction boxes are jam-packed. We typically try to do about 20 pieces roughly every week, and there's about 50 pieces stacked in here. So we've got some great stuff coming up. Badges, emblems, maps, some paper stuff, some pretty cool paper stuff, hubcaps, tiny hubcaps, matchbooks, some killer license plates. We got some great plates tonight. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Brian Dispatch. Brian should be able to travel by the middle of July. Sounds good. We'll start penciling that in. Pete's here with us. So anyway, lots of stuff happening. And my week went bananas, which I thought was going to be okay, but it ended up not being okay. It got completely out of hand. We'll talk about that. Denise is here. Kevin says hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. So, yeah, to say the least, my week got completely crazy this week. As you guys know, I was in Missouri a few weeks ago. We had Lawrence Swap Meet. And then before we even went and made the Missouri run, my iron guy was here cleaning up a bunch of iron. So my last, prior to this week, my last 3 weeks have been just nothing but bananas trying to keep up with shipments and everything else going on. But so I thought this week I was going to be able to get some stuff caught up. Didn't work out that way. So we'll get into that as well here just shortly. Anyway, what are you doing, dum-dum? Where are you at? Huh? What are you doing over there? Yeah, everybody can hear you. Yeah, I'm sure everybody can already hear you. You don't know what to think. The auction pile is too big for you to get around, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Tony's here. Dennis is here. Jeff from Ottawa. Bill Wagaman. There, you found it. You found a way to get up here anyway, didn't you? Yeah. Scott's here on Facebook. Yes. Hello. Are you going to say hi to everybody? You're scaring Charlie's cat. Big Job made it tonight. What are you doing, dum-dum? You going to say hi to everybody? Say hi. Look who's out there. Yeah. What? Yes. Hello. Can we get back to the chat now? Was that okay with you? No, you're going to knock everything off over there. That stuff's stacked there for a reason. And no, you can't step on the keyboard. So you need to go that way. There you go. All right. Safe for now until she jumps back up here and lands on the keyboard. So anyway. Oh, that stinks, Tony. That makes for a real rough weekend with got issues like that going on. But anyway, before we get too deep into anything else, real quick, something I wanted to mention about the raffle. Since before I forget, obviously, like we talked about last week, the Delco thermometer. Weston's here with us. and, of course, the Moco Feeds sign. But anyway, I was talking to Leo this week. Leo called me to go through their list of the auction stuff because Leo and Travis and I think Justin all hang out together and watch the show with us. So they had a whole bunch of stuff they had bought. So Leo calls me and he says, hey, can I get all of our totals? And I'll just send you one check and you ship it all at one time. So perfect. Number one made it tonight. Glad number one's here. So we go through the list, get it all around, get his totals all figured out, what they bought, and thought we were all good. A couple hours later, Leo calls back and says, you know what? We were thinking. Him and the boys, with Travis and Justin, they said, we all got to talking because Leo won the big truck last week. And Leo said, we were talking and we all voted on it. And we want to donate the truck back to the chat for this month's raffle. Ken from Michigan's here. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty exciting. Leo and his boys want to donate this back for this month's raffle. So we're going to have this raffle. The biggest problem is the first person's name out of the can is going to have a heck of a time figuring out what they want. Thermometer, feed sign, or cattle truck. So huge shout out to Leo and all of his boys that hang out with Travis and Justin for deciding to donate that back for this month's raffle in support of the show. So huge shout out to them. Big thanks going out to those guys for being loyal supporters and hanging out with us and supporting what we do. And then giving back to the raffle. Do we have even a more amazing raffle this month? So Shane's back with us on Facebook. Number one had to go to the lake today. Well, that probably wasn't all bad. So anyway, speaking of the raffle, while we're talking about the raffle, who remember what we started a few episodes ago? Norma's here. Who remembers the little bonus drawings? Now, remember the bonus drawings? Alex made it tonight. Glad Alex is here. The bonus drawings are little pieces that we're going to do just randomly. They are not going to ship individually. They will ship with your next package. So please bear in mind, if you win something on one of these, they will ship with your next package. Charlie, can I watch from Facebook and YouTube? Yes, Charlie, we are live on both formats. So they're just little knick-knack stuff, Hot Wheels, little toy cars, matchbooks, emblems, things like that. So what the heck? Let's do one of those. Since Leo and his guys decided to donate back to the raffle, let's do an extra bonus drawing right out of the gate on this month's raffle from the people that got in this week. X-Ray Dean made it. Oh, speaking of which, Dean, sometime this week when you get a minute, give me a shout. I got your check yesterday, but we need to compare lists because what you have doesn't add up with what I've got. So when you get a minute, Dean, just give me a call so we can skim through that and make sure that we get on the same page. I don't know if a check didn't get to me on some items or what. So, but I show more than what you had down. So let's, whenever you get a minute, just give me a shout. Lee from New York made it. So, yep, Charlie's on both of them now. But anyway, let's see who won a bonus raffle here. Zach. I don't even know if Zach's on with us yet. So, like I said, these do not count against you. It will go right back in the big Buick oil can. But let's pick something out of the new can. Yes, I've got a new can for the little bonus drawings. We got all this cool stuff wrapped up in here. We're going to yank something out of here for Zach. Like this, whatever this is. This is Zach's. John's here with us. So, anybody want to see what Zach got? Pick the oil brand. Go for it. I'd love to see somebody get this one, unless you saw part of the can. I'm going to drop it so you can't see it. We'll look at what Zach won on the bonus drawing, see if anybody guesses what can that was. Johnny Z's ready to see it. All right, this is the little bonus drawing for this one. We got a whole can full of them. And we're just going to do them whenever we feel like doing one. Let's see what was in this one that is going to be headed to Zach. This was a brand. It was a company. It was a regular company. So it wasn't like, a Kmart or Western Auto can. It was a regular oil company. I wrapped this one up a little too good. Oh, one of the bow ties. One of the Chevrolet bow ties. I don't know. I know we've seen it on signs. I've got a 42-inch sign of it. So we're going to write Zach on this one. Nope. And like I said, these go back in the can. Now, if we do another one tonight, Zach is out. You can only win one bonus a night as well. But you go right back into the big Buick oil can on the bonus drawings. Nope, not Pennzoil, Mark. Any tornadoes near? Nothing around here. MFA? Nope, that's a good guess, but that's not it. All right, we're going to put this off the side for Zach as we keep moving forward. Tony liked the Cutlass. Yeah, car's a little rough, but there again, any A-body stuff, it's so hard to find. Hughes? Nope, that's not it. Nope, it's not UFA. Conoco? Nope. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I'll be surprised if anybody gets it. So, but anyway, what's coming up before we get into what happened this week? Mobile? Nope, not mobile. But what's coming up? Hutch swap meet next weekend. I plan on being there Friday. If any of you guys are going to make the Hutchinson, Kansas swap meet, be sure to holler at me if you're around there Friday and you see me or run into me. Be sure to holler. That's coming up. Tweedledee package made it. Awesome. Nope, it's not co-op. So I got that planned this week. But anyway, what happened last week that went bananas? Like I said, I literally had nothing planned this week other than playing catch up. Champion Sinclair, nope. Good guesses, but not correct. Fina, nope. We'll let a few more pop up there, and I'll be surprised if anybody gets it. I think that's Sunoco is what Leo was going with, but that's not it. Cities, nope, not cities. So I was, like I said, I was going to get stuff caught up, get kind of back on an even keel. Nope, not Skelly. And then Tuesday morning, the guy that I sold my iron to, him and I worked back and forth together quite a bit. He calls me at 8 o'clock and said, get your trailer and get headed over here. And I was like, well, what's going on? Nope, not Peak. Actually, we looked at houses all day Monday, and I was scheduled to look at another house on Tuesday morning for rental property. And I said, well, I got to look at this house. Can I come after that? He said, yep, that's fine. So he said, I already got some of this stuff bought. Bring your trailer. Peak, Valvoline, Airplane, STP, Hughes, IH. No, there are a lot of good guesses coming up, but nobody's gotten it yet. It's going to be tricky. So we'll let you go for a little bit more. We'll try a few more guesses, and then we'll go ahead and show it to you because it's a great can. And so I headed over there. He was about, by the way the crow flies, if I take some back roads from the yard, only about 20 miles. Nope, not a Buffalo. Jayhawk, nope, that's a good guess because that's a Kansas company, and this can is a Kansas company, so it's not Jayhawk. Nope, it's not a vehicle manufacturer. Kenny made it. Nope, not Bengal or Bengal. Johnny's, nope, it's not Michael. Your green dinosaur one, nope, not Sinclair. Allen's here. Getty, nope, not Getty. Norse, nope, that's another good guess, but that's not it. Hudson, Derby, nope. Haviland, Gulf, Flying J, nope, none of those. Nate's getting close. He's also close physically, believe it or not. Kendall, nope. All right, let's go ahead and check it out. Here it is. to take you guys out of your misery. It is El Rico Fleet Oil. So Derby was close physically because they're both down by Wichita. This was out of El Dorado, Kansas. The El Dorado Refinery Company, El Dorado, Kansas. Yeah, you guys are digging it already. I'm glad. That's why I picked this one. I had some other ones, and I was like, man, this thing is just such a great can. The race car, the airplane. The other side is very similar. Only it says 100% pure paraffin based instead of the El Rico. Nate said, he goes, that's one he was thinking of, but he couldn't spit it out. Bill Discs here. Bill loves his truck. Awesome. Glad you dig it. Yep, I've got a 42-inch El Rico sign that we looked at. When that buddy of mine that has antiques, when he sent me that night, he sent me a text that I got signs, and then it went crickets. Yeah, that was an El Rico. That was this one. Top 10 channel can. It's a great can, that's for sure. I'm definitely was excited about it, and I'm glad you guys liked it as well. So, it's not really poetry. It's just kind of there. But a cool can, and it will make a good mate to the Buick. They are the same size, 5-quart steel cans. So I thought it would make a good pair to go with the Buick can as part of the raffle, because it was getting to be confusing. I get all these little, because I don't even remember what some of this stuff is because I did it a few weeks ago. I get all these things wrapped up, and then I start dropping all these names in here, and it just gets difficult and confusing. So I thought, let's get another can out. And I thought this was a great candidate. So obviously you guys are digging it based on the comments. Charlie, I've been to an oil museum. I think it was in El Dorado. It's been a few years. Could be. Yeah, it needs shelf space. Yeah. Yes, the top was already cut out of this one as well. So wasn't any big deal at all. Worked out perfect. Makes for a good pair for the raffle. Eloy's here with us. Oh, scared Gray Kitty. So anyway, I head over there, and I get over there to get over to location. I end up buying 2 pickups and 2 pickup beds. So we load one pickup. I run it back. I go back. I get the pickup beds. And when we were loading the pickup beds, it was about 2:30. And if there were street lights in this pasture, they would have been on. That's how dark it was from storms moving in. So I ran back, unloaded the pickup beds, was going to go back the next morning to get the other pickup. So I go back, get the other pickup loaded, and he said, what about that car? I just bought it from the guy. So I ended up buying that car. So I went, took the other pickup back, came back, got that car. And there was one car and one pickup there that were really bad. I got a few parts off of while I was there when I loaded the first pickup. Came back, got the car unloaded, thought, all right, finally I'm done. I can get caught up. A little after lunch on Wednesday. So I started working around the shop, and my phone rings again. He's like, get back over. I just bought 2 more. You just come back and get them too. He's like, there was another car and 2 more cars. He goes, I just bought those other 2 cars. Get over here and get them. So I went back over and started hauling those. So basically I hauled all day Tuesday and Wednesday. So my entire week got torpedoed again anyway. So start every episode with a can guess. Start with a couple of hints while you're doing your monologue. Yeah, we could probably do some of that. We can work through some of that. Jot some of that down. Try to keep some of these notes around. So anyway, since we're talking about that, what did I get? That's what Brian just asked. We usually do that later in the episode, but since it was a big part of the intro, we'll go ahead and catch it. Started off with a 65 Chevy C10 long bed fleet side complete pickup other than the tailgate. Minimal rust. It's a 65. It's got a little rust in it. Cab corners, rockers, and a little bit above the windshield, but overall not a bad truck. 2 square body beds, fleet side beds, 1 short, 1 long. 54 Chevy 3100 half-ton short bed custom cab. 62 Mercury 4-door. 63 Mercury 2-door post, so 2 Mercuries, and a really cool one, a 53 Chevy 210 coupe, the short roof coupe. And it never had a back window. It did not have a back seat, and it had fixed rear windows in it. So that's kind of a cool one too. So we got all that content that's going to be coming here in the near future. So that kind of torpedoed my week, but obviously from what I just told you guys, you can see why I had to go get them. So anyway, I guess we'll keep moving forward. We'll catch the promo model. Pete, I wish he had a hard time remembering everything like I do when I drag stuff in. Yeah, it gets a little busy. Yep, Tony, it is a coupe, 53 210 coupe. They did make an actual coupe and a 2-door sedan in that body style, and the rear quarter window is only about that big on the coupe. 2-door sedan, it's a big roll down window. Coupe either came with a fixed quarter window, which is what this one was, or they would have a little slider that would open them part way for ventilation. This one, it's all gone. The windows are gone, and the trim around it is all gone, but there were no provisions for the sliders or anything. So I'm sure this was just strictly a business coupe with no rear trim and fixed rear windows. So it's a really interesting car. So anyway, time for a promo model. Going back to another Ford product, I seem to have a lot of Ford products in the 60s era. This one is a 1960, and as we've seen with a lot of cars from 1960, even some of the Pontiacs we've done and stuff, warpage. Obviously, more hearts and fireworks. I love the hearts and fireworks, guys. This 1960 Ford Starliner, we can definitely see the warp in it. We've done some 60 Pontiacs, and we literally run into the same type of thing on the 60 Pontiacs with the warpage on these cars. We can almost see the bow to this body. You can see how there's a slight gap here between the chassis. And you can see it, literally the whole car has a curvature to it. It is in pretty good shape, though. It does have one chip up here on the front corner. This front bumper corner is chipped. This is all one piece on the front of this particular car, and it is missing one fender ornament up here on the top. This is a very attractive car, very attractive roof line. Does have the stars probably can't see them molded into the C-pillar like the cars actually did. The back of the 60 Ford had these kind of flat tail fins, I guess is the best way to describe it. How they had kind of a fin, but they literally basically laid them down. Kind of the half circle tail lights on the 60 Fords, matching backup lights in the rear bumper, to match the tail lights to kind of complete the circle, I guess. 53 210 Coupe smells like a build and giveaway vehicle. Appreciate that, Pete. No, their taillights are not the same as pickup. If you stood them up, they would look very similar, but they are not the same. They are definitely different. Tim's here with us. Bottom side of this one, just pretty basic like most of these. This one does not have the text or description on the bottom of it, similar to a lot of the Ford product promos we look at. And it is all just cast in there together, not a lot of detail, all one piece on the bottom. So, and that's right, Pete. It is still a pretty nice promo. I love the white top against the sky mist blue paint. It has all the original tires and hubcaps on it all the way around. So like I said, even though it does have some warpage, it is still an attractive car and something you definitely don't see very often on this 1960 style Ford Starliner. The rear panels back here, which is what it had like a stainless or an aluminum trim panel, is actually even painted silver on these. So that's what we've got for tonight's promo. The 1960 Ford Starliner in the sky mist blue. On to badges. like I told you, we got some great badges tonight. The first one, the pre-war badge, is extremely rare. Another one that the American Auto Emblems website calls scarce. Charlie, a 60 Impala project. I've only got 160 Impala, and it's a 4-door, and there's not hardly anything left of it. It is extremely heavily stripped. A lot of you guys like the Ford. Glad you did. But the first badge, the pre-war badge, and honestly, this may be a vehicle a lot of you guys maybe have never even heard of, is a highly sought-after badge. It's a badge that Addie and I had our eyes on for a long time. Literally so rare, I didn't know if we would ever find one. Found a big-time badge collector who had bought a big collection, and he was selling off some of the spares because he had to before he had paid for the collection. And he had an extra one of these in this new batch that he bought, so we managed to get one. So it is definitely an extremely rare badge, and some of you may have not ever even heard of it. Number one, I actually closed YouTube and I clicked back on, had to watch a Valvoline commercial. But this badge, it was a very, very short production run. It was actually a Hudson is what it was. And the company was Dover. Has anybody ever heard of Dover? Dover. The Dover. Hudson Motor Car Company, 1929-1930. The Dover was a half-ton commercial version of the Essex Super 6. Kenny's heard of it. Big Job has not. Was offered as a pickup truck or delivery van using an L-head 6-cylinder engine rated at 55 horsepower. The Dover name was dropped at the end of 1930, and subsequently Hudson vans and pickups were made by Essex and Terraplane under their own names. The attractive Dover radiator emblem is popular with collectors, and it is scarce. However, they do reproduce them. So you've got to be careful that you do not get a reproduction. Now, the way to tell is, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not, the originals have a maker's mark on the back of them. So, Bill Wagaman, newer plastic they used did not start and show up until 61. So 61 is when we start seeing better lifespan on promos and less warpage show. Kenny remembers his grandpa mentioning it. Well, this Dover badge, I don't know if you guys can see it, has the maker's mark right here on the back. And we can see where the button was. It's been broke off. But we do have the maker's mark on this original badge. Now, remember, this was only used for about a year and a half. So it is extremely difficult to find, and it is an amazing badge. It is 3 inches tall by a little over 2 wide. Now, and I think you guys are going to see why I was so excited about it when we share it with you. The year and a half only Dover badge is amazing. Look at this thing. With the white Pegasus, you can see the scroll work all the way around the detail on this thing. This has got one little spot of touch-up on it that I have found. But other than that, I think this is all completely original. Alec from New Hampshire's made it. Scott says Antique Car Museum in Kansas City had one at one time, I believe. Could be. But like I said, this thing is tough. Almost a little scrolling sea of comments on this thing. It is amazing. The dark red background with the white Pegasus. And I don't know if you guys can really make out the scroll work around the edges of this badge. I'll hold it up close to the Facebook camera. Then we'll do the YouTube camera as well. And hopefully you guys can make some of that scroll work out. Because I know it's kind of difficult. It says USA across the top. But even down at the bottom, this is all scroll work. You guys might be able to see the USA up there at the top. So starting bid of 500 with a reserve. This one I'm not selling. There's no Tim says forbidden. This one we're not selling. I literally didn't know that we would ever even be able to find one of these. But even Alec on Facebook, all you guys are just think it's awesome, and I'm glad you're excited about it because obviously I hate to get everybody excited about something and then you guys not be as excited about it as I am. But like I said, it's 3 inches tall, a little over 2 wide. You know, you can put it against the palm of your hand. So it is definitely a sizable badge that is noticeable and just is an absolutely amazing piece. It is a flat badge, so not any curves or weird angles. Yeah, this one needs to go on one of the blocks of the good badges that Addie's got over there on the other side of the office with a lot of her favorites on it. Because this is a pretty amazing piece. So, Johnny's got to find one for you guys. I do not have a picture of the car, no. It's just when we saw a picture of this badge years ago when we really started collecting badges, it's like, man, this would always be an epic one to find. So I was shocked that we did come up with one and super excited about it that we did. Yeah, that's right. I don't know where the association with Dover and Pegasus came from, but that's what they call it's what they used. Like I said, Hudson Motor Car Company, 1929 and 1930. And all that information I just read is on the American Auto Emblems website, which obviously, like we've always talked about, is a great place for reference on this stuff. So cool new old stuff. That's right, Leo. So there it is. Super cool Dover badge in excellent original condition. Super excited to be able to add that to our collection. So glad you guys are excited about it as well. I don't know. Well, I don't think it was that fast, Mark. It was an L-Head 6 rated at 55 horse. So it's a heck of a weekend you got planned there, number one. So, who's ready for the big badge? And I'm talking big physically badge. It's a big, big badge. I'm not even sure how we're actually going to show it to you, but we're going to figure it out. So bear with me. I got to get up to get it because it's over here. It is big. $55 inches by 5 inches. Yep, there it is. It is a trunk molding off of a 1966 Chevy 2 Nova Super Sport. It's a great piece. It's pretty flat. I mean, you could actually even put this like on a wall in your man cave. It's all pot metal. It's stud mount. It's not chipped or broken. This was cut out for the trunk lock. Mark remembers them. So like I said, it's a statement piece. I mean, if you were a hardcore Chevy guy and you wanted something above your bar that was different than anybody else, that would do it. Chrome's pretty nice on it. It is a used original, but it is a pretty nice piece. That's right, Nate. It is a big badge for a small car. I would sell this. I don't know where I would put it, but if I kept it, I would consider selling it. But you can buy new ones for like $700. But this one is, it's not perfect. It's got a few pits in it. But it's probably a $350 piece, especially with no brakes or chips. Still got all the studs and everything on it. That's right. It would look great in your new shop. Alex says we hit it out of the park with emblems. But it is a neat piece. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I think we can kind of see most of it like this way. I'm also trying to not trip over the auction boxes while I'm trying to share this with you. But there it is in all its glory. There we got the whole, just about got the whole thing in the shot almost. 55 inches long, 5 inches wide. The 1966 Chevy 2 Nova Super Sport tail panel. Went all the way across the trunk. Definitely a statement piece. Like I said, I seriously consider trying to find a place to hang this thing just because it would look so great. I think the paint and stuff has been touched up on it at some point in its life. But the chrome and everything is all original, nice and shiny. Really looks good. All right, let me put this down and then get caught up on comments. Oh, Alec is in at 60. 60 isn't going to quite get there, but I will sell that. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. Lots of good comments on that thing. Yeah, that is cool. Make sure that there's lots of comments about that. I was trying to get caught up. Alex hit it out of the park with emblems. That's cool. Yep, Jim, that is a one-piece deal. X-Ray D and his buddy had one. Look good in John's living room. That absolutely would not be the shop badge. We will use this and we can still use this, but it would be a little tricky to do that. So yeah, I'll sell it, but it's $350 because I paid a bunch of money for it too to get it just because it's so cool. But so yeah, I've got way more in it than any of the bids that are up there for sure. So anyway, there's the badges and the emblems for tonight. The awesome Dover and the 66 Chevy 2 Super Sport tail panel. But anyway, real quick, since we got Eloy on with us, I talked to Eloy. You guys remembered last week, Eloy said he just bought a ranch. I talked to Eloy about getting his stuff shipped out to him, and he filled me in on the details. He's moving to California. He's in Oregon. He's bought a 250-acre ranch, 3 big shops there, moving his entire restoration facility, including all of his guys, all the guys that work for him. They're all relocated to Northern California, moving the whole shoot and match, all of Eloy's good cars, moving all the customer cars, and setting up shop in Northern California. Sounds like an awesome place. It's got all kinds of trees. Like Eloy, if he can fill us in, like I don't know, like almond trees or something, nut trees or something. I don't remember, but he's got like this whole orchard to take care of now. Sounded super, super exciting. So we all want to give Eloy a big thumbs up and wish him well on a big, huge move, because he's got to move his entire car collection plus his entire restoration facility to this new location. But it sounds like an awesome place. So super excited for Eloy on that project and wish him definitely all the best in his massive move. But it sounds like an awesome place. So I don't remember what the whole orchard consisted of. So if Eloy wants to throw it up there, he can let us know. And so we can kind of get filled in a little bit more. But super excited about it for him and for his entire shop. On to a little story time. Let's check out a car that Dad bought probably 35 years ago that I really wish we still had. But, of course, it's one of those deals. Would we have ever gotten to restore it or not? Probably not. Yeah, field trip to Eloy's new place. It sounds like it would be cool. That's for sure. But this car Dad found, and it was local. It was only about 15 miles away when he found it. And in today's world, this thing would be an amazing, amazing car. At the time, it was still pretty cool, but not near as cool as station wagons have gotten to be now. So, but this thing is a really special wagon. The 1958 Buick Caballero. This is a totally complete car. He found local, tucked in somebody's backyard. Like I said, this was probably late 80s, early 90s, I'm guessing. Walnut farm with a bunch of peach trees. So I guess Eloy's going to have fresh peaches. He'll be in the peach business. But this thing was so cool. It was complete. It was pretty solid. This is one of those cars I don't remember a ton of details about. At the time, it was neat because it was a Caballero. Colorado Memorial's here tonight. I don't even remember where it went because, like I said, this was at least 30 years ago. But obviously, anything wagon in today's world is super crazy collectible. This thing was pretty neat in its day, being a Caballero, but still not anything like the popularity of wagons are today. Obviously, it wasn't around very long. Only have a few pictures of it, but still a great car and an amazing one. Steel Ponies, Jeff's here. Glad Jeff made it. No, somebody did something with it. I know Dad sold it, and I don't remember where it went, but somebody definitely did something with it. Yeah, Nate loves the 50s. 50s Buicks are just amazing. I grew up on them, so walnut and peach pies in the slow season. That's right. Michael from New Jersey's on with us on Facebook. So the 1958 Buick Caballero, super cool car. I do remember it wasn't around long. It sold quick. But in today's world of wagon madness, this thing would be super amazing to stumble onto today. Yep, that's a whole lot of car, Jim, that's for sure. Hoods and badge. All right. Who's ready for some auctions? Auction time. Seems like everybody's always ready for auction time. We've got, like I said, I've got 2 or 3 weeks worth of stuff stacked in here. And it's just a little bit of air, except cans. I was getting my boxes lined up tonight. I realized I didn't have any cans. So one thing we don't have tonight is cans, but I have a whole plethora of other stuff. So let's get started. Yeah, he is very busy moving cars. I'm sure of that. All right, let's get some stuff stacked up here. Get ready to boogie. Jim, I just sent you an envelope of stuff in a Buick magazine. Should be there Wednesday. Sweet. Looking forward to that. Okay, we'll start off with a few smaller things. As always, we'll run through the rules real quick. As a matter of fact, we kind of forgot to hit all the rules. So please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. If you're on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments, so you can't participate in the auction from the Nobody Show Facebook page. You will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show channel. Obviously, trolls, I ignore them. You guys do an amazing job running them off. I appreciate that. And we're well into this deal. Throw a share out there. Let your friends know that that we're on and ready to go. As we get into the auction, I'll hold up an item. We'll look at it. We'll check it out. We'll look at condition. We'll look at any flaws. We'll talk about it a little bit. We'll give you some dimensions on it. 372 miles for Eloy. That's right, Mark. Full dollar amounts only. I don't care if it's a $1 bid or $1 bump, but it needs to be full dollar amounts. After we get done looking at the piece, and as we're looking at it, as we're checking it out, if you're interested in, go ahead and throw a bid up there, just so at least I know we've got interest, even if it's $5. Once we get done with the description of it, we will put it on the timer right here on my cell phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1:30 has passed. When I tell you 1:30 has passed, it is time to be thinking about your maximum bid. Everybody has a delay depending on your device, smart TV, computer, phone, tablet, as well as your internet provider. So when I tell you 1:30 has passed, it is time to be thinking about your max bid and getting it out there. Some of these guys, I mean, Eloy's been deadly here these last few weeks, but there's also been a few times they'll get burned and miss it by 2 seconds. So some of you guys are really good about your delays, and it's getting really tight on some of this stuff. So please, I'll let you know when we've hit that 1:30 mark. Be thinking about your max bid at that point. Be ready to throw it in there. And we'll keep moving through the auction. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family, any of that is fine with me. Like we talked about last week, I don't care if you buy for a week or two and then send payment at one time, but let's try to keep it within a 30-day window. That way it doesn't get too far out there and my notes get mixed up and things like that. And if non-U.S. bidders, if you want to play in your non-U.S., that's fine. However, you will have to get me paid, which will typically be a wire where there's a fee for the wire, as you will have to pay for non-U.S. shipping. About everything we've got tonight is smaller, so shipping will be included in the 48 states. Non-U.S. shipping, you will have to pay for it just for the simple fact that where this funds itself, and if it all goes to 2 or 3 packages going out of the country, it shorts it for everybody else. So Brian Dispatch, 4,000 kilometers from his place to here. Wow, that's a long ways. Charlie, a bit of a strange thing to ask. Does anyone have a 318 Poly Dodge engine for sale that's not stuck? So that's right, John. Cash is always fine too. I still have some guys that do send cash, not a problem whatsoever. So that being said, let's get rolling. The first few items, I will read all the bids that I see when I see them. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the high bid, because I want everybody to learn where the delays are at and what I'm seeing, because sometimes you guys see different stuff than what I do. So that being said, let's go ahead and get rolling. We'll start off with a few smaller dollar items until people can kind of figure out where they're at and get started. Starting off tonight with, who remembers Toy Tuesday? Who was with us last Toy Tuesday? John said he went to eat the other day and the guy said no cash. He wouldn't take his cash. Okay, it's kind of odd. But who was with us for Toy Tuesday last Tuesday night? Because we had some more fun, as always, on Tuesday. And we looked at some toys and some matchbooks and some things like that. Alan was here with us. Who remembers the Box O Tankers? That's a good point, Mark. Should have told him I did. Well, then I did. Guess I didn't eat. This first auction is going to be 3 mini toy tankers straight out of the Toy Tuesday tanker box. The first one is kind of a basic plastic tanker, red and yellow, not a ton of detail. And it's a smaller, these are all smaller ones. We're going to do a handful of smaller tankers. 3-inch tanker. This is a Matchbox tanker, tandem wheels front and rear, some paint loss on this one. But it is a Matchbox branded piece. I think these are all about 3 inches. Yep, that's about 3 inches. Yep, these are all about 3 inches. And this last one is a Tootsie tanker. Charlie remembers these when he was little. This one does have one chipped wheel on this Tootsie tanker. It is green in color, does have some paint loss. These are all straight off of Toy Tuesday last week. All 3 of these on one deal. So there's the toy tankers from Tuesday. Had to use a debit card. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand that. Johnny Z at 15 on the toy tankers straight from Toy Tuesday. So they're all about the same size. If you can see, whoops, come back here. They're all about 3 inches long. One Matchbox, one Tootsie, and one plastic one. Johnny Z at 15. We are on the timer. I did get it started a little bit ago, so we are live on the toy tanker bundle. I'm making some notes, and we'll be good to go. John, always carry cash. You never know when they come to a yard sale. That's another good point, too. You never know when you're going to come up on a yard sale or an auction or something. Johnny Z at 15 on all 3 tankers straight out of the Toy Tuesday tanker box. 1 minute has passed. We've just passed the 1 minute mark. Try to hold them all up so you guys can see them all at the same time. And there's the minute 30 mark. Johnny Z may not have any competition on these at all. Whoa, come back here, little tanker. Come back here, little tanker. Coming down to the wire on this one. Leo at 17. And that does it. That was about 158. Holy cow. Leo at 17 at about 158. I was almost just thought Johnny Z had that one locked in, and Leo popped right in there at the last second at 17. Yes, that was some good shooting on Leo's part, that's for sure. That was tight. Come back here. Yeah, that was the first auction. Boom, right out of the gate. It was pew. Leo said he said click. Everybody should have known, huh? Yep, Kenny. That is the new raffle. The Delco thermometer, the Moco feeds, and Leo and his crew donated back the big Structo from last week. So we've got an amazing raffle this month, Kenny. Let's do some matchbooks. We all love matchbooks, that's for sure. These are big trucking matchbooks. 3 of them in this bundle. Denver, Chicago Trucking Company. General offices, Denver, Colorado. Offices in LA, Kansas City, St. Louis, and Chicago. Check out the truck on this thing. And on the inside, the map of terminals. I knew I had Mark's attention, so. And Navajo, the Navajo Trucking Company. Once again, with a map of terminals inside. And the last one, the Wilson Trucking Company with a super cool cab over. Wilson Trucking Company. It was based out of Kansas City and Chattanooga. Check out the graphics on this one. Leo's already reloading. And their office locations inside. So there we go. All three of these have super cool trucks on the matchbooks. And let's roll with it. Pete at 20. Mark at 15. I've got Pete at 20. Mark at 23. Leo's about to go pow. You were at Hudson Badge to think about it. Victoria, Texas is here with us. And there's the 1 minute mark. Minute 20. And there's the 1 minute, 30 second mark. Mark at 23. We've got Mark addicted to matchbooks, I think. But it's amazing when you look at these things. 20 seconds left to go. The detail and the artwork on these things, because they had to catch your eye. They had to be flashy. They had to catch your attention. That was advertising back in the day. Just about done, coming out of the wire. Mark at 23. Few seconds left. And that does it. Nobody got him. Mark at 23. I was getting a little worried for you on that one, Mark. How about a license plate? Let's do a warm-up plate. So we got some great plates coming tonight. We got some. I doubt we're not going to squeeze them all in tonight because there's some amazing stuff in there. We're going to definitely got some cool plates coming up. This is just a nice, clean, original plate from 1973. This is one of the Packer plates, I call them. Green with yellow letterings on this RPR261. Pretty nice, shiny plate. This is a used original, but it has just obviously been well preserved. Mark, he loaded his guns up. He was ready for that one. It's pretty straight. It's not bent up. Back of it's still in pretty decent shape. Still has a nice shine. Great wall hangers because all these tags have such great color. Such cool pieces. Standard size, basically a roughly 12 by 6 RPR 261 on this plate. That's right, Travis. It is nice and shiny. I don't know if we can see the timer in it or not. We'll go ahead and start it and see if we can check it out. Yep, there we can see it. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15. Get some more stuff lined up here and ready to go. '73, Mark. September, since it expires in September of '73, so it was a '73 tag. Just past the minute mark. So I think that's how they did them back then. Because they went, this was the first letter of your last name, so that's kind of how they spaced them out every month. Minute 30 has now passed. Norma's timing is really off on YouTube. Seeing people congratulating before it's even over. You might try to refresh, Norma. A lot of times hitting refresh will help. 20 seconds left. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15. Mark at 17. Coming out of the wire, I've got Mark at 17. Few seconds left on this one. Alex at 20. Michael at 25 on Facebook. And that does it. Norma at 30, but it was at 2:01. I had Michael at 25 on Facebook. Norma came in at 2:01 with 30. Well, one thing about it, Norma, you know, I know that was at 2:01. I can tell you that. So but that's why we do kind of some warm-up pieces before we get to some better stuff. So, like I said, like I posted earlier, I've been digging through the shop. I've been working through stuff up, going through the stuff I bought from Lawrence. I got all kinds of stuff that we're going to mix in tonight, including some of these tiny little hubcaps. I love these things. I've got a ton of these. Eloy's got an 18-second delay on his end. I think this was a Chrysler. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I thought it was a C, but now that I look at it different, I'm confused. I don't know what it is. I thought it was a C, like for Chrysler. It is definitely heavily damaged. It is whammoed pretty good. You can still see the lettering in it. This was a threaded on cap. You can see the threads in there. Had a hex head on here on the outside edge. On this, what I think was a mini Chrysler cap, but I'm really not sure. But sometimes I thought that looked like a C, but now I don't know if it looks like a C. I'm even getting myself confused. I don't know. The more I stare at it, the worse it gets. What do you guys think? Or do we need to punt and figure it out later? I'm starting to wonder. Yeah, it would make a cool gas cap. Okay, Alex is seeing the C as well. Okay, I feel a little better now because I thought C, and then I was like, well, now I'm starting to second guess myself. So Alex is saying C as well. Michael's saying C. All right. I feel a little better. I thought I was losing my mind there for a minute because the more I stared at it, the worse it got. Steel Ponies, Jeff at 10 on whatever it is. I think it's Chrysler. Definitely has some damage, but you can still see the decoration, the ornamentation in it. Does have good threads in the back. Let's get this thing ticking along and see where it kind of popped the edge here when it was whammoed. On the, I'm thinking it's a Chrysler cap. We got Jeff at 10s kicking us off. So we are live. Jeff at 10. Big Jeff says Cosmopolitan. All right, Steel Ponies, Jeff at 10, even though it is damaged. These do make good wall hangers. Just put a screw or a nail on it. And even though this is perfectly round, you kind of angle it up a little bit, and these usually hang pretty well. I've had several of them hung up in my shop. So, but I did find some extras. I got some at Lawrence, and I've got a ton of them that I've been going through. So we're going to start mixing some more of these in as well because they are cool. We're just past the 1 minute mark. Steel Ponies, Jeff at 10. Yeah, Hudson Badge to think about it. And there's the minute 30 mark. Colorado Memorial, 25. 20 seconds left to go. Just about done. And it looks like, yep, Colorado Memorial at 25. eBay says it's wood wheel for late 20s, early 30s. So that's right. It would make a good coat rack for your overalls for sure. So these things are just cool. Let's do another little ornament while we're on round hangy things. This is one that Rico actually donated. This is a Corvair button. Nice, bright, and shiny. Better get your sunglasses out. It's a smaller piece. It is a horn button for a Chevy Corvair. Look at that thing. It is literally like a mirror. You can't hardly see it. It does say Corvair right there. You can see my webcam right there. Has a little ornamentation here. It is ridged around the edge. It does have a rubber donut on the back to hold it on. It is about 3 inches in diameter, just a little under 3 inches in overall diameter on this very, very shiny Corvair badge or Corvair horn button. Mark starting us off at 15, John at 10. This was some stuff Rico came up with. He said, here, throw this in the auction. So we're throwing it in the auction. John at 16. Mark at 18. There's an Auburn badge to think about it. Norma's still way off even after refreshing. Travis said he heard a click. I wonder if Leo's reloading. And there's our 1 minute mark. Mark at 18. Minute 20 is passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. Leo at 19. 20 seconds left to go. Mark at 21. Pete at 26. And that does it. I said Michael at 22, right at 2 minutes, but I already had Pete at 26. So Pete at 26 on the super shiny little Corvair button. Zach, hello, out celebrating, reaching level 40 in the game called Life. When to pop in for a second. Wish Addie a happy birthday. Awesome. Appreciate that. I will definitely let her know she's out with her friends as well. Hope you're having fun, Zach. Hope you're having a good birthday. And by the way, you just won something, Zach. So you won a bonus drawing a little bit ago. So I guess that's appropriate since it's your birthday. All right. Yep, you got a bonus drawing, Zach. So we'll get that in your next box whenever we got another load coming your way. So anyway, let's do some road maps. Maps are cool. We've done a few groups of those on here before. This one is all one brand. 3 different Texaco maps. This first one, Texaco, California. I'm going to guess late 60s because that basically looks like a Shelby on the front of this one. Texaco, Steel Ponies Jeff at 15 on just off the first map. Texaco, Wyoming. More and more people trust their car to the man who wears the star. I'm guessing this is probably early 70s. Because when we look at the back, we look at these pumps and this Texaco travel card. I'm guessing this is early 70s on this style. So we've got these two. And then we've got this one, which I think this is probably early 60s, maybe late 50s, Arizona. This thing is great. Amazing colors. Look at the service station, the outline of the car. And it's basically the same on the back, only it has a place for the station to stamp it, which they did not do. So all 3 of these, California, Wyoming, Texaco, 60s, early 70s era stuff, all one bid. Jeff at 15 has us started off on the Texaco maps. Kenny agrees those pumps looks like 70s. So Steel Pony Jeff at 15. We are live on the timer on this one. Brian Dispatch 25. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. All three of them, one deal. Brian Dispatch 25. And there's the 1 minute mark. Zach, good luck tonight. Be back next week with his sharpened sniper skills. That's a good point, Mark. Tell Zach not to take her a little easy. Coming up on a minute 30. And there's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left on this one. Brian Dispatch at 25. $20 seconds left. Coming out of the wire, just about done, and that does it. Brian Dispatch at 25. How about a regular cap? We haven't done a regular cap yet tonight. I know we've got some Volkswagen fans, plus these are always just great to hang up because everybody knows what it is. This is kind of dinged up a little bit. It does have bright chrome. You're going to need some sunglasses when I whip this thing up because it's like a mirror, even though it does have some scratches and dents in it. I think this is off of like one of those little notch or those little notch back ones, not a bug. The bugs were real deep. That's right, Brian. That's like Texaco. This is more of a flatter Volkswagen cap. Does not have the big dome like the bug caps do. So it's kind of a flat, cute little VW cap. This is all embossed. It is steel chrome plated. Some dings and scratches and dents, but still a pretty sharp cap and definitely shiny. I mean, you can see everything in there. You can see me right there in the computer screen. So, oh, size. I forgot to give you size on this thing. Right at 10 inches, like most of these, on the super bright VW cap. Like I said, late 60s, early 70s. I can't remember what they call those little notchback wagon things, that, but not as deep as some of the bug caps that we have seen before. So, anyway, let's roll on the little VW cap. Shopcat's here. I don't think it's Rabbit. I think it's earlier than Rabbit. I don't think that was a bid. I don't think you bid $411 Shopcat. Squareback, that's the word I'm looking for. Kenny, thank you. Oh, VW 411. Okay. That's what I figured, Brian. We'll get your stuff rounded up for when you head this way, so we got all your pile ready when you get here. You can pay for it and pick it all up when you get here. So, anybody interested in the VW cap? I thought you guys would have dug this one. The bug caps have done pretty well, so. Mark at 10. We are live on this. I did start it already. I already did start this one, and we are live. We're coming up on the 1 minute mark. Pete at 15. And there's 1 minute. So, Pete at 15. We have an Auburn badge while we're going here. That's right, John. I bet there isn't a lot of squarebacks left. Minute 20 has passed. Pete at 15. Johnny Z at 20. A minute 30 has passed. Yeah, there could have been a thing. Yeah, they could have been on a thing, true, too. 20 seconds left to go. Johnny Z at 20. And that'll do it. Johnny Z at 20 on the VW. Charlie says more people hit the like. That great idea. Appreciate that. I'm going to show you something now, and I have no idea if there's going to be any interest in this or not. I found it in a whole box of literature I bought. I thought it was kind of neat, but I don't have any use for it. So I wanted to show it to you guys, and if you guys like it, bid on it. If not, I'll throw it back in the box. This came out about 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago. It is a factory deal, 80 years of Chevy trucks, the Chevy Truck Milestone Collection. I don't know if dealers handed these out or what it was. And I don't even know if it's complete. But I'm going to show it to you. And if you guys like it, bid on it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. But what it is, we'll open the back of it up here. And it is a set of Chevrolet truck display cards. Starting off with the 1918. And then it has the specs on the back. 1929. Once again, specs on the back. 1937. With the specs on the back. 1941. Tony's digging it. 1953. 1955. Steel Ponies Jeff 10, X-Ray Dean 12, Mark Falcon 15. Now it goes to 67. So I don't know if 60 to 66 is missing or if there wasn't one. So there is nothing for 60 to 66. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was on whether or not these were handouts at the dealer or if the packets got them for preferred customers. I don't have any clue. Johnny's going to put a chain on that cap and wear it around his neck. Market 19 is my high bidder. The 1973 Chevy, the square body. It even shows the first crew cab on the back. The 1988 Chevy in the pumpkin patch. And finally, the 1999 Silverado. So I'm guessing this was probably put out in 99 when the new Silverado came out. It does still have, here's your personalized copy of the Chevy Truck Milestone Collection. However, it does not list what is all supposed to be in there. So I'm assuming there is something missing for the 60 to 66 body style. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 images. That's right, Johnny Z. There are multiple wall hangings. These are 10, these are standard size, 8 by 10. So you could go to Walmart and get you some cheap 8 by 10 frames, 10 of them, and actually hang this whole collection in your man cave if you're a Chevy truck guy. Dennis at 25. Wes, of course, is missing the one he would like the most. So that's what you got. There's 10 of them. Dennis at 25. It's kind of a neat deal. I just don't really know much about it. We are live. Go ahead and kick it off. We are live on the timer. Dennis at 25. Missings were hanging in somebody's garage. But I wonder, with there being 10 of these, if they just skipped it, I don't know why they would have. Or build one big frame. Yep. Johnny Z at 30. All of them. One-shot deal. Nice pieces. Johnny Z at 30. The whole packet. You're getting the whole packet. Or a large sheet of plexiglass. Yeah, and just show the whole collection off at once. $19.18 all the way to $19.99. Johnny Z at 30. One minute has passed. Nate got a set similar to this when he bought his 100th anniversary in 18, and it did not have a 60 to 66 or a 07 to 13 in it. So maybe they did just skip it. Who knows? Let's get these things put back away in their original jacket. Minute 20 has passed. Johnny Z at 30. There's the minute 30 mark. We're coming down to the wire. Johnny Z at 30. Norma at 40 on the whole pack. The Chevy Truck Milestone Collection, 80 years. 20 seconds left to go. Norma at 40. Tony at 41. Norma at 50, right at the wire. Just as I hit the end, it was Norma at 50. Norma's getting something dialed in, so... Okay, that was interesting. Like I said, I just didn't know. It was cool, but I didn't know what, like I said, if you go buy a bunch of $3 or $4 frames, you got a great collection of Chevy truck prints. Oh, yeah. Notice how Norma says, yeah, I got it fixed now. She didn't bother telling anybody that before when she was getting ready to bid on some stuff. Okay. I got another cool piece here that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and it keeps getting overlooked. It's another cool badge. I super dig it, but I've got one. So I can go ahead and sell this one. It's a big badge. It's awesome. It is 7 7/8 by 3 1/4. 7 7/8, almost 8 inches long. And it is a big red oval. Yep, check this badge out. I love these things. I got one a few months ago. Then I come up with another one and another box of stuff. This one is chipped down here. It is chipped a little bit here. These are pretty flat, so you could mount them anywhere. These are stud mounted. You can see where the Peterbilt is actually emblazoned into the metal on these, and then the enameling put around it. This does still have both studs intact. We've talked about these before. I think Big Job said these things are well over $100 a piece. if you have to replace one. This one obviously not in perfect shape, but a great display piece. Yep, Texas size belt buckle. That's right, Brian. That's exactly what I was thinking. That was Big Job runs these things. It's a cool badge. Like I said, I've got one, and then I could found, yeah, and that's another good point, Leo. This thing could talk the miles these things cover. That's for sure. 7 7/8 by 3 3/8 on the Big Pete badge. Oh, yeah, a very large person belt buckle. That's another good point, Mark, because this thing is big, being almost 8 inches long. So it's actually fairly heavy as well, too. These are stout. These are well built. These are heavy duty, just like the trucks. I didn't weigh this thing, but I don't know if it weighs a pound or not, but it actually has some weight to it. Alex at 15, Mark at 20 on the Peterbilt badge. Beautiful piece. It's got a whammo there and the whammo there, but you can still see the shine on this thing. Let's go ahead and get rolling. We are on the timer on this thing. Mark at 20. Alex at 25. Paul Bunyan's cufflink. That could be a possibility. Big Job just got an extra one on eBay 2 weeks ago. 1 minute has passed. Highlander's here. Finally finishes, just got his bachelor's degree. Congratulations to Highlander on finishing his bachelor's. That's awesome. Alex at 25. Minute 20 has passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. Mark at 27. Mark at 27. Pete at 34. We're ticking down to the wire on this one. A few seconds left. Pete at 34. And that does it. Michael made it tonight. Okay, now that Michael's on, wanted to share something else with you guys. Nope, no KW stuff. We've done one plate. I'm getting ready to do another one, and we've got some killer plates coming up, Michael. But anyway, now that Michael Brown is on, I want to let everybody know, if you guys remember the 1970 Olds 98 convertible that came in a few months ago. Michael and I got a deal on that. That car is now at Michael's. So the exciting news, he got it, I don't know when you got it, Michael, 3 or 4 weeks ago. The engine was stuck on it, but not bad. He soaked everything down with Marvel Mystery Oil, and it came loose. Had to put a starter on it. Had to clean the fuel system and everything. But Michael has that 7098 convertible up, running, and driving. So congratulations to Michael on getting that big old tank back on the road. That thing is such a cool car. And like I said, it was aged and weathered, but it had been inside for most of these years. So that car's got a great future with Michael. Super excited about it. So everybody give a shout out to Michael on congratulating him on getting that 7098 back on the road, because that's a cool old rag top. So got a plate right here, just kind of a normal plate, and then we got some more cool plates coming up here in a little bit. This one kind of another mid-range plate, Kansas 1975, the Wheat Centennial, 3-digit 313 tag on this 1975 Kansas plate. This is a standard size 12x6 Kind of a nice bright green, good shiny finish, but the back is just kind of a bland color. It is not matched to the front on this 75 plate. White lettering against this kind of a medium green background. EL3 man's here. Leo starting us off at 10. So there it is, the 1975 PL in green and white. Let's get this thing on the timer. Leo starting us off at 10. And we got some more cool plates coming up too. So get a few more things lined up here so we're ready to go. Pretty nice shiny finish on this one. It is bent a little bit right here. It can be tweaked and straightened back out a little bit so you can mount it. But we can see the reflection in here, so pretty good looking piece. Leo at 10. And there's the 1 minute mark. I forgot to mention that, Michael. Michael named her Peggy. So the 79E convertible is now named Peggy. And there's the minute 20 mark. Leo at 10. And I'm actually leading off another 75 plate with this one. Minute 30's passed. The next plate we're going to do 75, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So we're leading with this one. We're going to roll into another super cool plate here in just a second. 20 seconds left to go on this one. Leo at 10. Michael at 12. Michael at 18. Michael at 18 on Facebook is who I had. I had 15, 15, and 18 all at the same time. At Alex at 15. Michael Gagola at 18 on Facebook is who I had at 2 minutes. I had, I think, 4 bids between 157 and 2 minutes. So just so you guys know, if you're worried about something else that comes up, 4 bids in the last 3 to 4 seconds there. So there's a whole bunch of course, there were that many bids right after we ran out of time as well. But keep that in mind. There's a lot of you guys that are really getting this narrowed down. Michael Glagola at 18. Now, like I said, I'm leading into another plate with that plate. That was a regular issue 1975 plate. This next one is a little bit different. Now, I've got a handful of these plates, but I have very, very few duplicates. Most of them are different years. I haven't decided how many of them I'm going to sell, how many of them I'm going to keep. But these are very, very unique. And like I said, I got 20 or 25 of them, but there's very few duplicates. So I don't know how many of them I'm going to keep, how many I'm going to sell, for sure what I'm going to do with all of them. But I am going to sell a few of them, but there's not going to be multiples of the same thing. They're all going to be pretty much onesies, because there may be one that there's 3 of, but other than that, there's going to be kind of onesies on these. These are Kansas sample plates. Letter X and all zeros. This is brand new. These were never issued. What these were for was, like, back there again, we're in 1975. Today, if you need to know what a Massachusetts license plate looks like, you can Google it. You couldn't do that back then. What they would do with these sample plates is, I've done some research on them when I found them. They would send one of these to every state, and each state did that. That way, if, say, a patrolman pulled somebody over and they were out of state and they thought the tag looked funny, all they had was a two-way radio. They had a CB. They could radio back into dispatch, who could call their state office and say, is the 1975 Kansas plate green with white letters? And they would have this plate on file at like the state trooper's office so they could check them. So there would be one of these went to every state. And then sometimes if the courthouse, like if the local county courthouses wanted to hang a tag in their office, say, hey, this was what your tag is going to look like this year, they would send, if the courthouse requested it, they would send that to them. So these aren't one of one, but they're one of a couple of hundred probably, but you never see them. They don't, anybody that has them, they're in collections. They typically don't come out that often. Steel Pony Jeff starting us off at 15. So, yeah, they radioed you. Highlander at 20. So this is just a plain bare metal on the back. Obviously brand new, never been bolted on, never been touched. I didn't even wax this thing. This is literally exactly as it is. That's right, John. It's a good point. Forget how simple things really were back then. They literally would have a tag from each state on file in every other state so that the troopers had something to reference if they saw something fishy. Jeff at Steel Ponies, Jeff at 20. So this just has X instead of the initial, and then all zeros. They were all county SN, which is where Topeka, where the state capitol was at. So these are unique pieces for sure. Not something you see every day, and obviously in amazing condition. We are going to sell some of them, but I like them more and more every time I go through them. So there's a few of them that I know are duplicates that are going to be sold. So we will see some more of these come up. They're going to be various years. There's not going to be a complete set. They're kind of spotty because all I have is spotty. It's bouncing around from different years. So I don't have a complete set of these, but most of them are in amazing condition. I've got one that we're going to sell in a little while that mostly has all the paint loss, would need to be repainted. But this is a brand new 1975. So it's a brand new 50-year-old tag for a Kansas State sample plate. I've got Steel Ponies Jeff at 22. Let's get this thing rolling. Cool piece. I hope you guys dig it. I really actually do hope you dig it because I paid pretty decent money for all these things. So I don't know if there was any 67s in there or not, Brian. So we are live. We're boogieing on this one. Steel Ponies Jeff at 22. These are zeros because this would have been the number, just like on the plate we just sold. Those were your numbers. So those are actually just 4 zeros. That's right, John. It's kind of crazy to think about. That was almost 50 years ago now. Michael at 25 on Facebook. 1 minute has passed. We are at the 1 minute mark. I don't know if you can reissue a sample plate or not. Minute 20 has passed. Michael at 25 on Facebook. And there's a minute 30 gone. Norma at 50. Coming down to the wire on this one. Norma at 50. Few seconds left. Michael at 51. And that does it. Michael got her at 51. Holy cow, that was tight. Michael Brown at 55 over here. I got Michael Glagola at 51 on Facebook, and that was at a 158 shot. Holy cow. Like I said, we're going to do some more of these, but I don't know. Like I said, there's not going to be 2 or 3 of any of the years. So we'll work some more of those in, but Big John said he saw that one coming. Yeah, it's a cool piece. Let's do some matchbooks. Love matchbooks. Oh, this is a great one too. 2 of them in this bundle. The Superior Steel Safety School Coaches. Superior Bus Company. Look at this thing. Look at the artwork on this thing. And inside as well. Going with that, the International trucks from about 1959. Look at the colors on this thing. International trucks, Economy 6s, truck design V8s, world's most complete line of motor trucks. Mark Likey, I figured you probably would. These things are great. That's the only 2 in the market 20. Just doing 2 on these because these things, this pair are really good ones. Mark at 20. John's digging them. Yeah. Alec was at 7 on Facebook, but Mark was already in at 20. That's right. Matchbook Mark. We do need to rename him Matchbook Mark. Auburn badge. One minute has passed. And there's the minute 20 mark. Minute 30's passed. That's right, number 1. Kind of like a deck of cards. You hold them like this, you can enjoy them. You can see both sides of them. But Mark at 20. Coming down to the wire. That's right, Pete. You could buy the trading card holders for them. A few seconds left. Mark at 20. And that does it. Mark at 20. Let's do another cap. So get your sunglasses out because it's going to get real shiny. More hearts and fireworks. Awesome. This is Oldsmobile, I think about 1960. It's one of those where it had kind of a weird symbol that's kind of hard to follow, which is kind of cool because those are the ones that people look at with their hand and say, what the heck is that? And then you're smart because you know what it is. That's kind of what this one is. I think this is a 60 Oldsmobile. It's just got a really weird symbol on it. This one definitely has some dings and dents in it. Definitely bright, shiny chrome. This is original paint in here. It is scraped up here across the top a little bit. But there again, it's one of those different and unique ones that stands out because it is different, and it's a weird symbol that most people don't know. 10 5/8 in diameter, so about 10 1/2 outside to outside. All this ribbing is actually stamped in the cap. We can see it on the back. Alec at 10 on Facebook, starting us off on this little Olds cap. Like I said, it's different and weird, and that's why when you hang it up, you look like the smart guy because you know what it is. So, or that's right, Leo, you can make a clock out of it too. So, Anyway, I got Alec at 10. It's a rocket coming directly at you. It kind of does look like that. That's true. Alec at 10 on Facebook starting us off. We are live on the timer on this one. Still got Alec at 10 as we come up close on the 1 minute mark. Not quite there, but we're getting there. Alec at 10. And there's the 1 minute mark. John at 11 says the few nicks and dents fits in fine with him. He's John at 11. And there's the minute 30 mark. John at 11. $20 seconds left to go. Leo at 12. Mark at 12. I had Leo first at 12. A few seconds left. Alec at 13. Mark at 13. I had Alec first. Alec at 13 is who we had at 2 minutes. Tony at 14 after that. Alec at 13 is who I had at the 2 minute mark. Alec on Facebook for 13. All right, we haven't done an old badge yet tonight. We always got to do a badge. Speaking of badges, you guys better hang on for the badges that are coming up. I got a bunch of them in Lawrence. I got to get them sorted through. We got epic badges coming up. Not quite this epic, but we got a lot of good badges coming up. This one, we've done a few of these in the past. This is the last one I think I've got for now. Oldsmobile dealership parts book. No, I don't think I've got any extras of those. I'd have to look and see. I've got some old sales literature in here, but nothing that's a 1970. Yeah, Alex, yeah, I haven't bought anything in a while. We got to get you back in the groove, Alec. And we're going to do another badge. So we're right up your alley. This is another one of the, they use this forever, late teens, early 20s Dodge Brothers. 71 Russell tag. I don't have anything in the box tonight that's 71 Russell. I'd have to see what I had for sure, Josh. I don't remember. This one's dinged up a little bit. Dodge Brothers, Detroit, USA on this Dodge badge. It does have some chipping up here in the top, but the nice thing about it, you can still see the DB. You can still easily make out the Dodge Brothers, Detroit. You can see the majority of the water around the continents behind the star on the Dodge Brothers. This was the one that had the little button that pressed on the back to squish it on there and hold on a grill shell. Tweaked a little bit, but not bad. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15 starting us off. About 2 1/4, just over 2 inches in diameter on this Dodge Brothers early 20s era grill shell badge. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15. Let's get this thing going live on the timer. X-Ray Dean at 16. Anytime soon you'll have any Rambler emblems. I don't know. I'll do some looking around. That's a good idea to watch for some Rambler emblems. Steel Ponies Jeff at 17. Alex at 25. And there's the 1 minute mark. Alex at 25 on the Dodge Brothers badge. Alex at 25. And there's the minute 30 mark. $20 seconds left to go. Alex at 25. Tony at 28. Kenny at 33. Michael at 36. Few seconds left. Michael at 36. And that does it. Michael at 36. Michael Glagola on Facebook. John needs a few Ramblers for a pedal car he's doing. Okay, I'll keep my eyes open for some. Let's do another one of these little tiny caps. This one's definitely early. This is an Overland. Check this one out. This is stamped deep in the cap, an aluminum cap. These are a threaded grease cap, just like those other ones we've had. This one is definitely stamped in there good. In fact, you look in the back, you can even see it, how the embossing is, even in the back of this cap. I think it is aluminum. This is a smaller one. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15. This is 2.5 across the back. So this is a smaller cap. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15 on the little Overland grease cap. We are live on the timer on this thing, so we are moving on it. Mike from New Waverly, Texas is here with us. One minute has passed. What year is this? I'm thinking it's teens. So I'm sure it's well over 100 years old. So the nicks and scratches and dings, I guess, are well earned in this one. Kenny at 20. Minute 20 has passed. Steel Ponies Jeff at 22. Nope, no 62 matchbooks, Mark. The only ones I have are glued to the boards. Kenny at 24. Just about done with this, coming down to the wire. I missed the minute 30 mark. Kenny at 24, a few seconds left. Steel Ponies Jeff at 25. Tony at 20. Everybody was at 25. I had Jeff first. Steel Ponies Jeff at 25. I had a whole row of 25s, but Jeff was first when they all came rolling in right at that 158 mark. Okay, I told you guys I had some killer plates coming up. This is another one of them. This thing is awesome. I love the colors on this one, even though it does have some fading. It's still a great looking piece. On this Kansas 1926. Blue plate, obviously we can see some discoloration where the blue is a little lighter than it is in certain areas. The stamping is nice and clean. The back of it, same thing, just a little crusty and dirty. This plate is still really flat. So has not been beat up, has not been torn up. This is a bigger plate than what we are used to with these other ones. This plate, mark at 60, X-ray at 30. 14 7/8 by 5 3/8. So this thing is almost 15 inches long. Cool colors. I like the blue. Kansas 1926. Let this get thing kicked off. Mark at 60. Lots of bids coming in, but mark at 60 has everything covered on this 1926 Kansas plate. You know, all there again, 97 years old. So not looking too bad for that. So we're taking away. I've got Mark at 60 to start us off. Leo's back to sweet golden goodness. We know Leo's excited when he says sweet golden goodness. And there's our 1 minute mark. Alex at 65. Minute 20 has passed. Alex at 65. Minute 30 has passed. $20 seconds left to go. Alex at 65. Mark at 70. Norma at 100. Few more seconds left. We're coming down to the wire on this one. And that does it. Norma at 100. Somebody made the comment they see Norma's laser sight shoot across their screen, and they were right. But it's a beautiful piece. It really is. All right. We haven't done any badge bundles in a while. Let's do a badge bundle. We've done any badge bundles tonight, actually. We're going to squeeze one in right now, though, with some Chevrolet badges. Starting off with a bow tie. Everybody loves a bow tie. Nice, bright, shiny chrome bow tie. This bow tie, it's a mid-70s grill emblem. About 5 inches long. Nice, shiny chrome. It is V'd because it mounted in the front center of the grill. It is stud mount. It is a chrome-plated pop metal piece. Don's got 39 plates on his 39 holes and 69s on his 442. Yeah, you can do that in Kansas as well, so that's cool. The next one is a Chevrolet script badge. This is mid-70s as well. Just a cursive script Chevrolet, also a pop metal chrome-plated emblem. It is 6 1/4 long on this Chevrolet script. It is flat. It is stud mount. Michael starting us off at 5. And the last one, a Monte Carlo. This is off of about a 70 Monte Carlo. This is a C-pillar emblem. It is also chrome-plated pot metal stud mount. And it is 4 inches long on the Monte Carlo. So you've got the script, the Monte Carlo, and the bow tie grill emblem all in one bundle. Michael starting us off at 5. Mark at 15. We are live on the timer on this thing. John at 10, but I've already got Mark at 15. Michael at 20. Auburn badge. Be thinking about that a little bit. One minute has passed. Michael at 20. And there's the minute 30 mark. We've now passed the minute 30 mark. These are all 70s era, all metal, chrome-plated pot metal emblems. None of these are plastic. Michael at 20. Hockey time for number 1. He's got to jump off. Glad you were here for most of it tonight, number 1. Mark at 22. And that'll do it. Mark at 22. All right, let's do one more cap. So you might want to put your blinders on. Yeah, the bow tie is a cool piece, Mark. That's for sure. Something for our Ford fans. We haven't done much for our Ford fans tonight. This is an old, like 1949, 1950-ish hubcap. Actually, or mirror. Shave, do your hair, brush your teeth, pick your nose. You can do all of it right here in this cap because I can see it that clearly. So let's check this thing out. Something for our Ford fans. Check this out. A few dings and dents, but there again, it's 70 years old. But a nice shiny cap. See me, see the camera, see you guys right there. You can see it all. Michael Brown at 5 starting us off. As the point in the center, the Ford letters are stamped in it. These are original black paint on these. Backside, just a little bit of surface rust. And it is 10.5 in diameter on the Ford cap. John at 10. Let's get this thing boogieing. John at 10 on the Ford cap. Michael at 15. Got the point right there. Right in your face with a little point. Get this, kind of trying to hold this where you guys can actually see it. Let's see. John at 16, Michael at 17. See, the Facebook guys can see it as well. It's one thing I got to be real careful. Sometimes I don't get it in good focus of both cameras. John at 18, Michael at 20. That's right. Mark says 49.50. That's what I was thinking. One minute has passed. Michael at 20. Hold it back here so it doesn't have quite the glare to it. Does that help? I don't. It still may be glaring off the lights pretty bad there. I don't know. There's my Pontiac poster. Roadrunner jacket. Michael at 25. Mark at 22. Michael at 25. Mark at 27. Alex at 32. Minute 30 has passed. We're coming down to the wire on this one. I've got Alex at 32. There's the back again. Alex at 32. There you see the Ford letter stamped in it real good. Michael at 40. Coming down to the wire on this, few seconds left. Michael at 40. And that does it. Michael Brown at 40. Put that down so we can all see again. Let your eyes refocus. Couple more things, then we're going to move on to the magazine. We'll do one more plate. We'll do some more in one other piece. This is another really nice plate. This is also a 72, but it has amazing finish on it. In fact, I ain't so sure this one ain't new. I do not have an envelope for it, but there are no signs of screws ever being in this thing. It is a 3-digit plate. It does have some scuffs and scratches, but I seriously do not see where screw. Well, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Here it is. On this 1972 black, white letters. I mean, look at this. It's almost like the hubcap. You can almost see the computer screen. Leo at 15. Now, here's what I'm looking at. Because I'm looking at the back of this thing. Tony at 20. It looks like, I can't tell if that was a scratch from a screw or not. Dennis at 30. I can't tell if that was a scratch from a screw, but here's the other upper hole. The lower holes have never had anything in either one of those. So I'm not sure. It sure looks new, but I don't have an envelope for it. So, I really don't know for sure, and I don't want to, say it's new and it not be new, but holy cow, it's nice. So let's go ahead and roll with it. I got Dennis at 30. I mean, even the flaws in the stamping, like right, well, you see where it had flaws from the or like right here where there was like flaws from the stamping and they weren't squished out by a screw or anything. Tony at 35. We got the state cut out here in the side and the stamping. Nice, and let's tweak a little bit because none of them are perfectly flat, but that's just in the spring of it. Let's check out our timer. Oh, yeah, we can definitely see the numbers on that one. We read that one pretty clear right there in the black paint. Right there between the R and the 1. Dennis at 40. So if it's not new, it was very, very, very barely used. Hudson Badge. Mark at 45. 1 minute has now passed. We've hit the 1 minute mark. Mark at 45. Minute 20 has passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. Mark at 45. 20 seconds left to go. I think Tony must have fat fingered a key. I'm going to take that as a 48, Tony. Yep, Tony at 48. Coming down to the wire. Tony at 48. Few seconds left. And that did it. Tony at 48. Michael at 60. 2 seconds too late. I was waiting for you, Michael, and it passed 2 minutes, and then it popped up. Tony at 48. Holy cow, that was tight. That's what stinks about this feed, is sometimes you never know when it's going to pop up. Michael was there just a couple seconds too late. All right, let's get one more batch of maps out of here, and then let's get into the magazine tonight. One more batch of maps. This is a mixed set. Another Texaco with the Shelby type, roughly Shelby Mustang on it, late 60s era, similar to the last batch. But this is the only Texaco one in this bundle. The other one is Montana from the Standard Oil Company. Looks like probably mid-60s with your friendly standard service station attendant on there. And the last one is Esso, British Columbia and Alberta. A little bit different size, not quite the tall, skinny ones we're used to, but Canadian maps, so a little bit different on the Esso. Excuse me. So Esso, Standard, and Texaco in this map bundle. Marked at 15. Last pieces for the night, and then we're going to get into the magazine that we started last week and see how far we can get through it tonight. Mark at 15. Hudson Badge. And don't worry, we still got some awesome stuff for next week already lined up and ready to go. So, back of the Esso. The Esso is kind of folded wonky. There isn't really a back to it that I have found at this point. The way it sits right now, that is the back. Let me see if I can find a back on it. It's a Canadian map, so I don't know. There's the 1 minute mark. There's the back. It does have a back. Let's see if we can find it. There's the back of it. Kelly's Esso Service, Fernie, British Columbia. Minute 20 has passed. We are past the minute 20 mark. Somebody just had it folded wonky, so it could be refolded when you get, when you get ready to set it up. Minute 30 has passed. Mark at 15. All three of them one-shot deal. Mark at 15. Just about done with this one. Coming down to the wire. 20 seconds left. Leo, 16. Mark at 20. And that will do it. Mark at 20 on the map bundle. Brian's got to sign off super late there. Glad you were here with us for most of the night, Brian. All right. That'll wrap up the auctions for tonight. Had a lot of fun. We got a lot of great stuff still piled up for next week. Some more cool papers, some more caps, more emblems, more matchbooks, and more super cool plates. So thanks for playing, everybody. Had a lot of fun with that. As always, you guys are great sports, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it work well for everybody. So I appreciate your support and your participation in the auctions. It's a lot of fun. Everybody needs an Auburn and a Hudson badge after a few of those tonight. So anyway, let's get into the magazine from last week. We started on it last week, and we probably won't even finish it until next week. The September 1965 issue of Motor Trend. First photos of the 1966 cars. We only got through the Detroit report last week, so we're going to get into some articles and some ads this week. Probably have to finish it next week. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with that. John says it was good, cool stuff. Great, thanks. I really try to get a good, diverse batch of stuff every week. You know, and like the $20 stuff, by the time I ship it and things like that, it's not a big profit center, but I want some of the guys that, I want it to be open to everybody. Not everybody can spend $50 or $80 or $100 on a piece. So that's why I try to get a good mix of some premium stuff as well as some cheaper stuff, because I want everybody to be able to play along. So I hope that mix is working for everybody. So, and everybody's saying it's a great auction. So I feel good when you guys feel that way about it. And even Mark's calling says it's a good auction, Johnny. So it still baffles me that you guys even consider me, anything capable of doing something like Johnny Carson did. But I do try for you guys. So let's go ahead and get into this September 65 issue of Motor Trend. Obviously, we did the spotlight on Detroit last week, so we're going to get straight into some of the articles this week. Starting off with Snap shooting the 66s. So, first candid photos of Detroit's 1966 cars featuring changes in Dodge Polara, Fairlane, Ford, and Mustang. So this is September of 65. John, have you ever thought about coffee mugs with nobody's logo? No, I've not checked into doing coffee mugs. It's something we haven't checked into doing. So these are kind of spy shots of what's coming for 66. Starting off with the 2-page spread on the Dodge Polara. Big Job likes coffee mugs. Some more spy shots. One of the Polara again, and also some spy shots of the Mustang. Now, one thing that we see that we know does not look right is look at these taillights on this Mustang. Obviously, pre-production models here in this shot, because those do not look like stock 66 Mustang taillights to me. Next, we've got some Fairlane and full-size Ford shots. And there again, this is pre-production stuff. So if we look at some of these photos, some of it looks kind of funky. Look at this 60, that would be the 66 Fairlane in this big picture. Look at that roof line. Similar, but definitely not quite that bubbled on the production model. Another kind of interesting article, the next one after the spy shots, 1966 engineering from Chrysler. Reminds me of the Skyliner roof line. Yeah, it kind of does. Big news centers around Streetable. Now you got to remember, this is in 1965. Streetable 426 Hemi V8. A new 440-incher for big cars, disc brakes, new shifters. Check this stuff out from Chrysler Engineering. Remember, this is September of 65. We've really got to keep that in mind as we study this stuff and put it into perspective as to what exactly we are looking at in a timeline. Something else that was a big deal in the mid 60s, because you've got to remember the first normal production car. Tucker had them, Crosley had them, but the first mass-produced car that ever had this was the Corvette in 1965. Disc brakes. Remember a few months back we did an article where people didn't even trust disc brakes in the early 60s. Today we don't know anything any different. Also talks about body structure. All kinds of cool stuff in this article from Chrysler Engineering in 1965. And on to interiors. Some of the, kind of weird features that today are commonplace, but the Chrysler Tiltoscope, the tilt and telescoping steering wheel on some of their interior features. In, out, up, down. Obviously that's not uncommon today. Back then, that was a pretty rare deal. Travis has got to jump off. Glad you guys were here tonight. So there was all kinds of newfangled technology coming out there in 1965 that they probably still weren't quite sure about. The next article we're going to look at that nobody, I'm sure, had any idea of what would have happened 50 years later to these things. I'm sure the guys at this time that designed this and built this and did this road test had absolutely no idea what was going to happen to these things 50 years later. The first 66 Detroit test, Ford's new Bronco. Yes, obviously in today's world, these things have gone off the rails. You can buy anything for them. A project is worth a mint. Everybody wants these early Broncos. This is a very early one. It still has the Mercury-style hubcaps on it. I don't know if you guys can tell that from the picture or not, but these early ones did have a hubcap based off of a previous Mercury hubcap that was only used for a short time. But I'm sure nobody had any clue what was going to happen to this market 50 years later. There's the bottom side of it. Fairly in-depth article. Of course, this was a brand new vehicle. The International Scout was out, and they still made Jeeps. But, this was a whole brand new deal for Ford to even be involved with, much less design, develop, and produce this particular vehicle. Yep, I think everybody wished they'd fill the barn with Broncos years ago. And the road test and the specifications. Mark's buddy used to have one early in the 70s. They took it out camping with it. Yeah, they'd be great for that, off-roading and camping. That's what they were for. So, but let's check out some of the specs on this thing. Obviously, these were not rocket ships by any means, but options. Here's the options on the test car. Doors. Okay. Good option to have. Roof. Another good option to have. Back seat. Comes in handy. Bucket seats and white walls. That's the option list. Doors, roof, back seat, bucket seats, and white wall tires. That's it. That's what it came with. So very interesting in today's world to go back and look at this. John's already digging this magazine. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff in here. There again, we're looking at this with 2020 hindsight, looking at today's world of six-figure Broncos, and where today's world, if you've got a rusted Hulk, literally a rusted Hulk with a good VIN, it's worth more than this thing was new, guaranteed. So, but there again, that's the beauty of doing this. That's what's awesome about going back in time with these old magazines and studying them and looking at what was happening in that time frame, and then fast forwarding to today and seeing that progression and seeing what happened and seeing how some of these cars have become insanely popular and some of these cars have not become very popular. So you just never know. The last article we're going to get into before we start getting into the ads, once again, a completely new technological innovation that most people had no clue about when this came out in '66. It was weird. It was a Pontiac deal. The new Cammer. Yes, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with these. I've got some cars that were Cammers. They don't have motors in them anymore. I do have a valve cover off of one that still has a cam in it because I can't get it out. On the overhead cam 6-cylinder Pontiac engine that they came out with for the Tempest was also available in the Firebird, I believe, in '67. Tempest's new Cammer. Once again, technology that today an overhead cam engine, they're everywhere, all over. This was a whole different deal in 1965. This was like aliens landing, trying to figure this stuff out. Now, one thing that we touched on last week, and because it was in the Detroit report, that was something kind of different. They've got a big picture over here. Reason being, once again, something that was extremely new technology, extremely weird at the time. That's right, Dennis. You could get it with a 4-barrel as well. But see a close-up of the cross-section. Absolutely. That's a good idea. It's a good idea, Pete. We should have held that up there a little closer for you guys to check it out anyway. So there we go. Hope you guys on Facebook can see that as well as you guys on YouTube. But there again, completely different technology. There's your cam up there in the valve cover. In today's world, it's everywhere. It's second nature. Extremely common. In 1965, this could have come off of a spaceship. But one thing we touched on last week that was completely weird was the timing belt. Once again, everything in today's world uses a timing belt. A timing belt back in the day of timing chain was unheard of. John's geeking out. Well, wait till you see these pictures, John, because these next 2 pages are great, great pictures, including a picture of the 4-barrel, including a picture of the timing belt, including a close-up of the valve train, as well as the cylinder head and the valve cover. We're just going to have to take this in for a second. I'll try to get it to where everybody can see it on both formats. Obviously, there's the space age timing belt system, unheard of at the time, the 4-barrel manifold. See if we can get a close-up on here for both you guys right here with the cutaway of the valve train setup with the cam up here in the valve cover. There again, in 1965, this was space age technology. Over here, more great pictures, including the valve cover and the head. And of course, then there's the piston up there even as well, all the way down of the actual components that made up this space age technology for that era. Mark, we had to replace the timing belt dealer item only. So Leo's got to jump off tonight. Glad you were here, Leo. Have you had fun? So there again, just completely off the rails and crazy for this is in 1965. So John Must Have magazine. There it is. That's the one that we're looking at right now. September 65 of Motor Trend. And the last page of the Camera article actually shows the block and some of the valve train components there as well. It was an education in auto class, I bet so, Mark. On the last few pictures of the overhead cam Tempest article. What the heck? We'll catch one more article here real quick. Just because I flipped the page, it looked kind of cool and kind of interesting, and definitely something we don't talk about very often. On the new Checker, yes, the Checker cabs. Motor Trend checks the Checker. Large wheels, generous ground clearance, plus well-calibrated shocks give Checker one of the best rides over a series of dips. Motor Trend checks the Checker. Yes, the Checker taxi cabs. Definitely kind of a unique car. We don't see a lot of articles about these. These things were cabs. That's what they were built for. That was their life. That was their duty. That was their purpose on the world, were to be cabs. So you don't see a lot about them. A lot of consumers were not buying Checkers for their normal cars. They were taxi cabs. Now, this does have quite a bit of detail on it, some good pictures, even some interior shots. Mark, one of Mark's friends worked on Checkers. Some more cool shots here, including some detailed engine and interior shots. Small block Chevy power in this one. Spacious rear passenger compartment. Accessory jump seats. But there again, these were workhorses. That was their entire sole purpose, was to be a workhorse, was to be a taxi cab. So you don't see a lot on these things. We will read off some of the specs. Where are we at? Over here, we got some specs on these things. We'll get into a little bit of that as well. But some cool shots on a car you never see any information about, for the simple fact that these were not general consumer type cars. That's right, Ken. You don't see them hardly at all anymore. Options were the 327 automatic, with 327 with an automatic and air conditioning, power brakes and steering, 80 amp hour battery, heavy duty alternator, wheel covers. Base price $29.34, price as tested $43.74.84. So that was a fairly expensive car for that time. Of course, it was pretty well loaded up with a V8 and air. That was a big deal in the mid 60s. But not rocket ship, quarter mile at 18 seconds. But there again, these were a workhorse, and everything on these were pretty basic. It was drum brakes, power drum brakes, front independent suspension, and of course, like we talked about, the 327 does not call it a Chevrolet engine in here, but you can tell by the picture, if you can see. I don't know if you guys can see down in there in that close-up or not, but it's definitely a Chevrolet engine that they were using in these at that point. At least the optional V8 was. They probably had a base 6-cylinder. I do not know if that was a GM motor or not, but this one was definitely a 327 Chevrolet. In the Checker cab, coming up for 1966 in the Checker Marathon. How about some ads? Let's get to some ads. And then we will catch the rest of this magazine next week. Let's flip back to the front, start on some ads. What was happening in 1965 as far as the advertising in the car world? Right inside the cover, Plymouth, right out of the gate. Nice big full color action shot ad for Plymouth on the inside cover. Who remembers Simonize? I wouldn't let anything but Simonize touch my car. Who used Simonize detail products back in the day? Good looking XKE coupe on there. Great kitty cat over here. Yes, you. Great kitty cat. You come up to help with the magazine? Or did you come up to be in the way? That's what I thought. Something else that was just starting to get popular in the mid-60s. Not a lot of people had them at the time. It was big money and was, expensive. Most typical kids couldn't afford them yet. And that was aftermarket wheels. These are almost as iconic as Krager SS's, probably one notch below them, on the Keystone Classic wheel. Yes, the Keystone Classics, almost as timeless as the Krager SS mag. Still popular today. Good shots here on a cool old T-bucket on this one. Kevin's got to jump off. Glad you were here tonight, Kevin. Even say goodnight to you, Gray Kitty. You say goodnight? Hey, you going to be nice or you going to be rude? Say goodnight, Gray Kitty. We're bothering her. More hearts. Awesome. Autolite plugs in performance, IndyCar, drag cars, NASCAR, road race. Some great shots in here. Obviously, open wheel, Tasca Ford Mustang out on the NASCAR tracks and a GT40 on the road course. Now, something new. This is a Goodyear ad about a racing tire with an inner tire. This is kind of weird. These were, what are they called? Lifeguard inner tire held on this shredded stock car tire. Check this thing out. Something that a little bit different that you don't see that often. But there again, when this stuff doesn't progress and move forward to where we've seen it in recent history, we forget about some of these technological advances that maybe didn't work out quite so well. Here's another cool one for Esso. Of course, the Esso campaign put a tiger in your tank. They put a tiger in Jimmy Clark's tank in the USAC circuit. Check this out. They even put painted tiger stripes on the fuel hoses as they're fueling up the race car. Another great 2-page ad with awesome action shots. This is a great ad, even though it's black and white. Because remember, there wasn't much color, as we've seen in this whole issue. Not a lot of color, so this is all black and white. But these are some of the best pictures in here. They charged the Golden Glory with champion spark plugs, shutting down a great field at the NHRA Spring Nationals, top fuel eliminator, top gas eliminator, competition eliminator, junior stock, match, and low ET, the quickest run of the entire event, all powered by champion spark plugs. Check this ad out. Talk about great action shots. Front engine diggers. This one's even packing a 6-cylinder, top fuel, top gas, packing a Hemi. Dave Strickler. All kinds of, just like I said, there's just a whole lot of cool on those 2 pages if you're a fan of 60s racing action. So that was a good one. I think that's about it. Let me double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. It said Bristol. It said Spring Nationals. Yep, I think it is Bristol. I'm sure that's supposed to say Bristol right there. Yep, Michael, the Slingshot Diggers. It's just, this stuff is just so great. I think that's going to about catch us, but I want to make sure. I don't want to miss anything. Yeah, that's going to catch it for this week of the magazine. Now, we're only half done with this thing because we barely got started on it last week. So we've still got the back half of this one to catch next week. And yes, it gets better. I've peeked ahead. More racing action, stock car action, classified ads. A car in here that we've actually talked a little bit about in person, and it may have even actually been that exact car. I'm not sure. That we've had in some of our videos in the background. It may have been the exact car that's in this ad. I'm not sure. So we've got a lot of neat stuff coming. Oh, man, there's some great, Drag Fest. Yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. So John said, John just found it and bought one. I need to do that. I need to buy extra copies of every magazine we do and then put them on eBay right before we go on, I guess. So anyway, that's a good start. Like I said, we ran a little bit late last week, so we shortened it up a little bit. So we're going to be a little bit short this week, but I didn't want to get into the back part of this magazine and not be able to spend the time with it we need, because like I said, there is so much great stuff in it that I don't want to shortchange you guys on any of it. So especially knowing we've got cool classified ads. Oh, yeah. 64 Ferrari, 330 for 11.9. Yeah, craziness in the classified section as always. Plus a lot of cool ads, all the little small ads. We got a lot of cool stuff still left in this magazine for next week. So that's going to wrap it up for this week on the September 1965 issue of Motor Trend. We will plan on wrapping this one up next week and finish the back half of this magazine. Of course, John will probably have his by then. I've already read the whole thing cover to cover, but that's okay. Tony was digging it. Glad you guys are enjoying it. Still got some more cool stuff to do. We got Coke on the back too, by the way, in case you were curious. We got a cat right here in the way. So anyway, what else is going on? We've already talked about the raffle a little bit tonight, but what the heck? Let's do a drawing. We do need to go over and see who is in. Who is in the raffle as of right now? We do need to catch that real quick. Mark Falcon is in. Tweedly D is in. Michael Glagola. Big Job, as well as Zach Thompson, which we all know because he already won a bonus drawing. I can still go by Chad, Mark. I'm definitely not near at that caliber where you just start calling me Johnny. I don't think I'm definitely near that good. Let's yank another bonus one out of the new bonus can. Zach's already got one. Who else is going to get one tonight? Michael Glagola. Whoops. Got to save that. Got to go back in the can. Michael Glagola. So, let's grab the new can. The El Rico Fleet can. And let's yank something out of here. There it is. What's this one for Michael? It's kind of flat. This one must be a matchbook, probably. You want to open it, Michael? You want me to open it, Michael? Universal batteries on this matchbook. Let's write Michael's name on this one. And then we're going to tuck this back away in here for him. And put it in his next shipment. Let me grab Zach's over here as well so I don't forget. Put those over here with that stuff. And right back into the big Buick can for the drawing. So that's who's in as of the first week. Mark, Tweedledee, Michael Glagola, Big Job, and Zach Thompson. And Norma, if you want me to bring your stuff to Hutch Friday, just let me know. I could do that as well. So anyway, hey, Kat, you're in the way. Can I have my sheet? Yes, thank you. Sheesh. Like we talked about earlier, we've already covered new inventory since it was a big part of my week this week with the square body beds, the 65 C10, the 62 Mercury 4-door, the 63 Mercury 2-door, the 53 Chevy 210 Coupe, and the 54 Chevy half-ton 3100. All hit the ground this week, so stay tuned for more content coming up on those. We've got to get a live slid in here sometime. I keep saying that. I've got to get a live done here in the next couple weeks. I know you guys are waiting on one. So keep things posted. I will try to jump on at some point and get a live wander around for a while. So we'll see what we can make work there. But a lot of stuff happening, especially with the Hutch swap meet coming up. I always want to hit that. And obviously, I don't want to get too many more calls about buying too many cars this week because I got a lot of stuff to get caught back up on. But there again, when deals like that pop up, you got to go. If you don't go, you don't get them. So that's what we did. And like I said, June 4th, we're going to draw for these now. 3 epic prizes now with the thermometer, the truck, and the feed sign. One person's going to get each one of those. First one out of the can is going to get their choice. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to get in for this week. Make sure you don't get in on some of the bonus drawings as well. This week's videos, I've got to get the Lawrence swap meet video up. Me and Jess shot in Lawrence, plus the stuff that came home from Lawrence, plus the iron cleanup at the yard, plus the McPherson car show. We may do some stuff from the Hutch swap meet. Plus, I think I've got 15 cars at least that are already here that I haven't done videos on. Not counting stuff I got to pick up. Stuff that's already here on the ground that I haven't done content on yet. So lots of stuff going on there as well. I'll be coming early, Norma. We'll probably get there about 7 or 7:30 Friday morning. And probably usually get done around noon. That's typically kind of what we do. So you can always give me a call too if something will work, or, if it depends on what your schedule looks like or what we need to do. So if it doesn't work, I can always throw them in the mail to you too. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just whatever's convenient for you, we can make something happen. So anyway, that being said, that pretty much wraps me up for tonight. As always, thanks for stopping by. We will do Toy Tuesday live at 7 o'clock on Tuesday evening like we typically do, plus get some more of these videos up for you this week. I hope you guys enjoy what we've been doing and try to get back on a little bit of a more even keel, hopefully. Of course, I said that last week, too. It didn't work out at all. But I'm hoping to get back on a little more even keel this week, get some more time spent on videos, and get, some of these videos, I've been getting videos up just to get them up because there's so much stuff building up on me. But try to get some more of this content posted. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure maybe go back and watch a few of the old videos. As always, if you got any questions, just give me a call. If you got any questions on payment or anything from the auctions tonight, just give me a call. We'll get it worked out. So, glad you guys enjoyed it again tonight. Lots of positive comments popping up. I always appreciate that. That you guys are still enjoying what we're doing. Tell your friends about next week. Tell them about Toy Tuesday, and invite them on over to hang out. Glad you guys are really enjoying it. The positive comments about how much you guys love it and enjoy it and like hanging out here with all of us still amazes me. So it's I am glad that you guys are having fun. That's what makes it worth doing. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. Still waiting new Broncos. So Tweedle's got new Broncos still not here. You must have had one of the options they couldn't get that they're out of. So Scott enjoyed it on Facebook. Glad you guys did. Kenny, thanks for number 163. That's crazy. It is number 163. And we'll get ready to do it again next week. We'll see what I find in Hutch this week, if anything. Hutch is not a very big swap meet, so it can be kind of a crapshoot. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it isn't hardly worth the gas to go. You never know. But you don't know unless you go, so you got to go and find out. So that's what I'm doing this week. Hope everybody has a great week. We'll see some of you Tuesday night. And if not, we will definitely see you back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Time for Sunday Night Live Chat, episode number 164. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope everybody has a great week. We may see some of you soon in Hutch, excuse me. That's right, Michael. It is Mother's Day. I forgot to mention that earlier. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers that are out there. And stay tuned this week. Stay tuned for the new videos. We'll see you Tuesday night at 7. And I hope to see you all back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Same bat channel, same bat time for Sunday Night Live Chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week.